Okay. Uh, Today we are going to be continuing our reading of The Tempest by William Shakespeare. And we are starting with Act 2, Scene 1. That being said, off we go.
Another part of the island. King Alonso, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, Sebastian, Antonio, and others. Gonzalo, beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all, of joy, of our escape in much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him or so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
One tell.
when grief, when every grief is entertained that's offered, comes to the entertainer,
$1.
dolour comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you proposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Ah, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
I prithee spare.
well, I have done, but yet
You will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
A cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seemed to be a desert,
Ha ha ha. So you're paid.
uninhabitable and most inaccessible,
Yet
yet
He could not miss it.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate winch.
high and a subtle, as he most learnedly delivered,
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
as if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Ah, as 'twas perfumed by a fen.
here's everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live.
Of that there's none or little.
Lush and lusty the grass looks, how green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
The rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouch verities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold, notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afric at the marriage of the king's fair daughter, Claribel, to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Since widow Dido's time,
Widow, a pox of that. How came that widow in? Widow Dido.
What if he had said widower Aeneas too? Good Lord, how you take it.
Widow Dido, said you? You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp.
He hath raised the wall and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea bring forth more islands?
Hey,
Why, in good time.
sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when they were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Bait, I beseech you, widow Dido.
Aye, widow Dido, aye, widow Dido.
Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as first the day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage?
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence my son is lost, and in my rate she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish has made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself his good arms in lusty stroke. To the shore that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him, I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, no, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet and grief on it.
Prithee, peace.
You were kneeled to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of their business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault is your own.
So is the dearest of the loss.
Lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most chirurgiously.
It is a foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather?
Very foul.
Had I a plantation of this isle, my lord?
You'd sow it with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
Were the king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the commonwealths, I would by contraries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters would not be known, riches, poverty, and the use of service, none, contract, succession, born, bound of land, tithe, vineyard, none, no use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil, no occupation, all men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavour, treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine. Would I not have but nature should bring forth of its own kind all foison, all abundance to feed my innocent people?
No marrying among his subjects?
Ah, none, man, all idle, whores and knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age and
Save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
Do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
You will believe your highness, and it did to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs that they are always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
In this a kind merry fooling, am I nothing to you? So you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow is there given!
And it had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue it in 5 weeks without changing.
Enter
right.
Ariel, invisible, playing solemn music.
We would so, and then go a bat fowling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
Oh, I warrant you, I will not adventure discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us.
All exit except Alonso, Sebastian, and Antonio. What? All so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy. Alonso sleeps. Exit Ariel.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. We fell together all, as if by consent. They dropped as if by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more. Yet methinks I see it in thy face that thou shouldest be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakest out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose, to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lettest thy fortune sleep, die rather, winkest while thou art awaking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meaning in thy snores.
I'm more serious than my custom. You must be too so. If heed me, which to do trebles the oar.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Heredity sloth instructs me. Oh, sorry. Do so. To ebb, heredity sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it, how, in stripping it, you more invest it. Ebbing men, indeed, more often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim a matter from thee, and a birth indeed which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this who shall be of as little memory, when he is earthed, has there almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade. The king, his son's alive. 'Tis as impossible as he's undrowned, as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's undrowned.
Oh, out of that, no hope. What great hope have you? No hope that way is. Another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond. But doubts discover there. Will you grant me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle.
She that is Queen of Tunis, she that is dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note, unless the sun were post. The man in the moon is too slow, till newborn chins be rough and razorable. She that from whom we all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what's to come is yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis. So is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, I'll show that Claribel measure us back to Naples. Keep in Tunis and let Sebastian awake. Say this were death that now has seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps. Lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a cough of as deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me. Much feather than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience,
Aye, sir. Where lies that? If it were a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candid be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies my brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it can lay to bed forever. Whilst you, doing this to the perpetual wink, for I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who shall not upbraid our course, for all the rest they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gotst Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword, one stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I the king shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
Enter Ariel, invisible with music and song. My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies to keep them living, sings in Gonzalo's ears. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy this time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake.
Then let us both be sudden. Gonzalo.
Now, good angels, preserve the king. Why now? How now?
How now? How? Oh, awake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
Gonzalo. What's the matter?
Well, as we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Ah, 'twas a den to fright of monsters here, to make earthquake. Sure it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
On mine arrow, On mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried, as mine eyes opened and saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verity. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Gonzalo, heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is, sure, in the island.
Lead away. Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. Go, so, king, go safely on to seek your son.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
The plot thickens.
yes.
Lost.
So, if
Hi, Sylvia.
hi, Sylvia.
Oh, Sylvia's here. Great.
Sorry, I had to have dinner with my hosts.
There you
So
are. It's good to have you at any time. That's good you joined us. So, so Sylvia, we've been reading Act 2, Scene 1, and it's the shipwrecked people. Gonzalo, thanks Des for reading that. You got a lot of lines there, buddy. So the deal is they don't seem like there seems to be a camp that's the anti-Gonzalo camp here. They don't like him. They think he's like too cheery and unrealistic. So they're constantly verbally sniping at the guy, either to his face or behind or using his sides.
This is because he's the counselor, so he's apart from them. The rest of them, or nearly all the rest of them, are aristocracy.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Is that right? So the only
There is Francisco. Who is he?
he's the son of the of
I'm continually looking to see.
oh Francisco. No, okay. I was confusing Francisco with Fernando.
I've no mention of him here at all, other than
I haven't got him
what
in my list of actors either. This is Francisco. I don't.
Francisco. He's a lord.
He is a lord then? Okay, and this I
Yeah.
think this would support.
Adrian.
is Adrian and Francisco are lords. Yes, I have them.
Yeah, I have neither in my list of characters here. Must be my cheap edition.
And you know when
Oh
you
yes, sorry, I do have it. Adrian and Francisco Lord, same as what you said. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
They're sharing a line here. Okay.
I don't think we've come across him before.
Okay. So Des, you're saying that there's a bit of a class thing at work here. That these guys are lords and Gonzalo is a step below. He's an honest old counselor.
I think he's a step apart for being a counselor.
Right. Okay.
Apart from the fact that he didn't he wasn't born into it.
No. See, I thought it was his cheery optimism that was putting people off.
Well, I think that also.
I'm getting problems here online. Problems here online.
Well, I mean, he does start off in this act. Gonzalo starts off in this act, but saying, "Hey, we're damn lucky. There was a big wreck, and yet we seem to be fine."
Right. And he picks up on the fact that, like, if this were a kind of a regular shipwreck, we'd all be waterlogged here. But look at our clothes. They look like they've just come from the dry cleaners.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's walk through this. Who is Alonso?
He is the king of Naples.
He's the king of Naples.
And
So
Sebastian is his
Alonso does
brother.
not want to be be consolidated or consolation at all.
No,
He right off the bat, he tells Gonzalo, "Hey, would you just be quiet?"
right.
Then Sebastian says he receives comfort like poor cold porridge.
Mm.
And then Antonio is the is Naples. I'm not Naples, but Milan, right? He's Prospero's brother, right?
This is Antonio the usurper. That's right. Who is now kind of a vassal state of Naples.
Okay. So Antonio says the visitor will not give him orso. Who's the visitor?
My note says it means spiritual comforter.
Okay.
So,
Hmm.
so the gist of the line, according to my text, is the spiritual counselor is not gonna let him, that is Alonso, go so easily, right? He's kind of, it's like he's got a dog's got a bone there, right? He's gonna keep chewing on it and try and bring him around, try and comfort him.
Oh, okay. I would okay. Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike. So that is a joke, right?
Right. And then they start to count off the okay, it strikes one, meaning he's got going on this ramble.
Okay, so and Shakespeare is kind of in Gonzalo's next statement, Shakespeare is kind of letting us know that because there's going to be all this complaining, that for every complaint, there will someone who will make a joke. When every grief is entertained that's offered, comes the entertainer. And Sebastian says, $1.
Mm.
Which is he's going to place a bet.
I have a
But is the
note.
bet on, sorry,
No, go
Katrina.
ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that is the bet on that Adrian will start waffling on.
That for every time, I think the bet,
Mm.
and this is, I think the bet is that as Alonso complains, every time Alonso complains about something, somebody's going to make a joke based on that complaint. And then the first one happens right after Sebastian says $1. Then Gonzalo says, Dolor comes
Hmm.
to him indeed. You've spoken true. So Gonzalo's going to take up the bet. And he's gonna make a joke every time somebody says something.
So it looks like Adrian and Gonzalo are the two like optimists, right? And Gonzalo's been told to be quiet. I prithee spare, like basically, shut your mouth. Spare your words is what my thing says. And he says, well, Gonzalo says, well, I have done, but yet. And so like, he's not really picking up the social cues here. The king, Alonso thinks he's lost his kid. And Gonzalo's coming in all cheery and happy. And he's going, shut up, buddy. I don't want to hear you.
Hmm.
Ask
So
you guys
Mhm.
a question. Gonzalo, an honest old councillor, was he councillor to the King of Naples or to the Duke of Milan? Which house was he in?
Okay, let me just see. It comes up. I'll take a look. It comes up in the first act because he's the guy who gets the books for Prospero.
He's in Milan.
Well, I don't know because pretty quickly Milan becomes part of Naples. I'll just check here. Okay.
But if he was in Milan, then he would have been in Prospero's house.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah. Mhm.
Prospero's brother, the King of Naples, and the King of Naples' son
Okay.
would all have been again him, if you like.
Okay, I've got you here, Des. Here it is. A noble. This is Act 1, Scene 2, line 161 of my edition. A noble Neapolitan Gonzalo, out of his charity, who being then appointed master of this design, did give us with rich garments, linen stuffs, and necessities, much which since have steaded much. So of his gentleness, knowing I love books, he furnished me from my own library with volumes that I prized above my dukedom. So he's pegged him as a Neapolitan. Shakespeare has in Act 1, Scene 2.
Start saying that he was a noble.
A noble Neapolitan, but noble can
So,
be a position, but it could also be a kind of personality trait that you behave nobly. So, and I'm not sure which.
yeah.
So does he not know that? So maybe I'm reaching too far, but I would say if Gonzalo's the one that furnished Prospero, he knows where Prospero is.
I don't think, I don't know. I thought everybody thought that he was dead. He was lost at sea with his daughter.
Right.
Hmm. But to me, and it struck me over this period
I
that
very well know where he was. Yeah.
yeah, but Gonzalo, he's like a Kent in King Lear. You know that he was helpful to um, Prospero. You know,
Right.
he
Mhm.
plays that kind of role. I don't know. I don't know whether Shakespeare just has a bag of tricks and he uses the same sort of characters.
He does.
Mm.
It just struck me that he was that kind of person.
Mhm.
What would be Shakespeare's intention in having this badinage running through here for the next 10 minutes or whatever?
I think the first intention is just comic relief.
Right.
It's
Take a
just
break from the heavy stuff.
Mhm.
take a break from the heavier stuff, and he's a kind of establishing personalities here.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we know who the complainers are, we know who the optimists are, um, and then he's going to move uh, steadily into the scene into back into heavy stuff. Because, you know, by the end of this comic scene, we got two guys that are planning murder
Yes. Yeah.
and usurpation.
Yeah.
So I think that's, you know, it's a very active scene. In spite of the fact that it's starting off kind of as a comic relief scene. But basically we have Sebastian and Gonzalo, okay, trying to cheer things up, make jokes. We have Antonio, a sourpuss. And then we have Alonso.
This then would be a back and forth between the king's brother and Duke Prospero's advisor, counselor.
So I'm thinking, Des, just to refine that a bit, I think they are both the king's younger brothers in the sense that Antonio is Prospero's younger brother, and Sebastian is Alonso's younger brother. And the two younger bros are getting together to conspire. And we are reminded that Antonio supplanted Prospero, that he gave him the boot. And then
So Sebastian is
Alonso's brother.
Alonso's younger brother, and
Right.
Alonso is the Duke of Naples or the King of Naples.
Yep.
Okay. And then as this scene goes on, we have Antonio inciting Sebastian against his
Right.
brother.
Basically, do what I did against my brother, do that to your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And is Gonzalo then trying to counter the two guys?
I don't think Gonzalo clues in. Is Gonzalo one of the guys who falls asleep? Because all of them
Yes.
fall asleep except Sebastian and Antonio. So
Mm-hmm.
And Sebastian's.
And Alonso.
Alonso actually, I think, takes a dive too.
He
Doesn't
does. He does fall asleep.
he?
Right.
Yeah, Alonso falls asleep. And so we're leaving the only two that are left awake are Antonio and Sebastian. And Antonio tries to convince Sebastian, who's a little slow on the uptake, to murder his brother and take over.
Hmm.
In the midst of that, Sebastian and Antonio there, Antonio says, then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples? And Sebastian says, Claribel. Now, who
Yeah.
is Claribel?
The
Claribel's
daughter
the sister.
who got married in Tunis, right?
Yeah.
Which
She's
means
already
her husband then takes over. So it goes to Africa. But they don't say
Yeah.
that. Wouldn't it be men at the time?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So Sebastian is looking to the future, that he's likely to lose out to Claribel's new husband.
No, I don't
And
think so. I don't think so. I think the idea is that they married Claribel off far away enough that Claribel is no longer part of the picture.
okay,
And I don't think, well,
Yeah.
there's one beautiful measure of time here. Till newborn chins be rough and razorable.
Mm.
And there's a measure of time.
Yeah.
Hmm. So Gonzalo in every case comes across as fairly clear-eyed and optimistic and knowledgeable.
Yeah. Sebastian is what, a good guy? He's got more of a, I'm using the word conscience. You know, because Antonio's really pleased with how his situation has worked out. Look at how well my garments sit upon me. But Sebastian cautions him, but for your conscience. So it's like he's holding the mirror up to him.
Well, he's trying to get Sebastian to do the same thing that he
Yeah.
did. But Sebastian's a little slow on the uptake. He's not a natural born schemer, I don't think.
I would just see him as a a better person. A more a more noble person.
Yes, but remember that he did finally decide to go along with Alonso or Antonio and to kill Alonso.
Oh yeah, well I'm just missing some of them. Oh yeah, okay.
We're towards the end of the act when Sebastian and Antonio they've decided to kill Alonso,
Mm.
but there's a noise
Mm.
Ariel makes to change the scene and stop their plans going any further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm only catching up with what's going on. Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah, Ariel.
the two guys have their swords out,
Hmm.
and they find an excuse for having their swords out by saying they saw something or other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Schoolboy stuff.
Right. So the basic action here is that Ariel comes along. She puts everybody to sleep except for Sebastian and Antonio,
Yeah.
which gives Antonio an opportunity to convince Sebastian that that they can kill Alonso and Sebastian can become the king of Naples.
Mm.
Then Ariel wakes everybody up before they can actually do it. They have their swords out and they're going to kill Alonso when Ariel makes the noise and everybody wakes up.
I think with the characters that Shakespeare has here, the personalities or whatever, I would think that Antonio's plotting is that he has already gotten rid of his brother and is now the Duke of Milan,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants Sebastian to kill his father because Alonso's son, what's his name? Not Ferdinand, the other fellow. What's his name? Yes, Ferdinand, the son of the King of
That
Naples.
actually
Sebastian.
Um,
that's oh, okay, go ahead.
he's missing. He's
Yes.
not with the gang. So that would leave Sebastian as the next heir, whatever about Clarabelle. But if Sebastian is the next heir, then Antonio, the plotter, would certainly, in time, do away with Sebastian and
Hmm.
become king of Naples.
That's what I think, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, just to remind me, Ferdinand is Alonso, the Duke of Naples' son, correct?
Mm.
Yes.
That does Antonio have a son?
Not mentioned.
Okay, so got that. So now this whole thing is the opportunity for Antonio to convince Sebastian of this devious plot is actually provided by Ariel, putting everybody else to sleep.
But then Ariel intervenes to stop what is about to happen.
Yes,
So I
yes.
don't think she anticipates that either, or does she?
Well, I wouldn't think so. No, it wouldn't make sense in the plot. From what we
Because
know,
she's
unless there's
working.
something coming up in the future.
Well, but the way that it makes some sense in the plot is it makes us, the audience, aware that that Antonio and Sebastian would kill Alonso if they had had a little bit more time. So it exposes their character.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And Ariel works for Prospero.
Yeah, Prospero's the puppet master in all of this.
But I thought Prospero wanted revenge,
He does.
but not in that way.
I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, I think I don't know. I mean, I actually have not read the play, but I think Prospero's ultimate aim is to take back the kingdom of Milan for himself and to marry Miranda off to the heir of the throne of Naples.
Yes.
That's his end game right there.
It
Well,
would
I thought
mean,
at the end of the. Sorry, you go ahead,
no,
Deb.
no, that would mean that Antonio is in the on the in the dumpster because he is neither a successor, or at least what am I saying? Prospero has taken back his dukedom, and Antonio has no future there.
Mm-hmm.
And Antonio's nephew, Ferdinand, is now quite possibly the next king of Milan.
Mm-hmm. Well, what does happen at the end? Does Prospero take Milan back?
I think they all end up in Happy House at the end.
Because the
Everybody's
children marry, isn't that it?
Ferdinand and Miranda get married, right?
Mhm.
yes,
But they get married without. They get married or they pledge themselves to each other before the father agrees,
Okay.
which is a slight on James whoever, King of England, who put his niece in prison because she got married without telling him.
yes, of course, yes,
Oh. Hmm.
yeah,
But he
certainly.
acquiesced, Prospero
Orla,
acquiesced.
who's this Orla?
Oh, I have to look it up. I
Huh.
remember this from the beginning. Um,
This isn't Clarabelle.
and
No.
no, it's somebody in real life. Uh, who
Okay, so that's some history thing that you actually read then.
yes, but I'm trying. It's mirrored in the Tempest because what's happened in the Tempest is he doesn't the Prospero says this is okay to get married without me giving your approval, to make your pledge without the approval. But I have to find it now to tell you who the person was who did it and was put in prison.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, Orla. It's not actually in the play. It's what it's
It's
alleged.
what Shakespeare is alluding to.
Yes, yes, okay.
Because back then you had to have approval before you got married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the historical figure you were likely referring to is Lady Margaret Douglas. the grandmother of King James. No, that's not the one. No, it's someone at the same time as it's the king at the time. I came up before when it. Who's the king at the time of the Tempest?
Was it James?
Yeah, but there's so many Jameses that you have to.
Is it James?
It would be James the First. 1623. No, that was even before him, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was too context of Tempest. James first.
Was the first. Yeah.
Okay, it's Lady Arabella Stuart. Her life and repercussions of her clandestine marriage to William Seymour provide a fascinating and poignant backdrop that potentially influences the themes of marriage, dynastic security, and royal control explored in the play. She was a legitimate descendant. She secretly married someone, and it was a threat to King James' dynastic security, and she was put in prison. He was furious. He was sent to the Tower of London, and Arabella was placed under house arrest. No, her life ended in tragedy. So sometimes it is thought of that it's referred to in a sense where Prospero acquiesces to the marriage and thinks it's okay, whereas James the First thought it was desperate and put them all in prison for doing it without his consent.
Wow.
I don't think they have to have consent anymore. King people. Do they?
Yeah, I think they do. I
I
think
would
they
imagine they do.
ask the monarch. Yeah, you mean the UK? Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
Needs consent now?
Yeah, I think so. Well,
Hmm.
I think that's they had to ask the Queen, or those royals apparently.
Within the royal family.
Yeah.
He was working in the bank way back in the 60s. Any girl working in the bank had to have permission from the manager before they could get married.
Hmm.
It was right into the 60s, the late 60s.
Wow. Huh.
And certainly that was if they wanted to keep their job.
I'm looking at the interaction between Alonso and Sebastian, where Alonso is complaining that, he just married off his daughter, and now his eldest son, has been lost. His eldest son, being Ferdinand, has been lost at sea. And the youngest son, if I understand correctly, Sebastian is a younger son of Alonso's.
Oh, is
And Sebastian really severely criticizes Alonso.
Sebastian is the brother of Alonso.
Sebastian is the brother of Alonso?
Yeah, that's what it has in the list here. So
Oh,
that's why,
oh yeah, and Ferdinand's the son.
yeah.
okay. Okay, thank you for clarifying that.
So if they killed the king of Naples, then Sebastian would
Take over.
Hmm.
on he's using the formula that he used. What do you call him?
Mm-hmm.
This no,
Well,
it's
that's it. Yeah.
Antonio is having wide words with Sebastian. Is because I've missed this, so I'm probably misspeaking here.
Well, the part that I'm focusing on right now is actually what in my book is around line 100, where right after Francisco tells Alonso that he thinks that Ferdinand is still alive.
Oh,
That's around line 100. So
Yeah, I see that.
Francisco says, "Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the
Hmm.
surge most swollen that met him. His bold head 'bove the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore, that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him. I not doubt he came alive to land." Then Alonso says, "No, no, he's gone."
Hmm.
Then Sebastian says, now Sebastian is Alonso's younger brother. Sebastian says to Alonso, "Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss, that would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from our eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on it." Then Alonso says, "Prithee, peace." And Sebastian says, are you all in this part of the text with me by any chance?"
no, I'm just listening.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't got lines on in this text that I'm using.
Okay.
Go on, no, but go on, I'm listening.
All right. So then Sebastian says, "You were kneeled to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between lothness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow." So Sebastian's really blasting Alonso. "We have lost your son, I fear, forever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own."
Hmm.
So Sebastian is really, really blasting
Don't
his
get
older brother.
I don't get why he says Milan and Naples. Milan didn't have anything to do with the girl going to Africa to get married, did it?
Well, the widows in Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them.
Yeah, but well, I presume now that the business is the daughter getting married. Maybe I'm wrong about.
Against her will and against the advice of everyone else.
Yeah, but what did Milan have to do with that? Was it Antonio?
I can't answer your question. I hear it, but I can't
Is,
answer.
is there not something about Naples taking over Milan that we discussed last week?
Yes, yes. The whole idea is that Antonio has sworn allegiance and what do they call it? To become a vassal country of Naples,
Mm-hmm.
which is why now Antonio is scheming with Sebastian because he doesn't want to be a vassal state. He wants to be an equal state. But I think that's for your purposes. I think the major thing to realize is that there is some bad blood between Sebastian and Alonso. And there's a lot of family confusion that Clarabelle did not want to be married to the African
Mm.
and to be sent to live far away from
Mm.
home.
He, Shakespeare uses these, mysterious princes and what I mean. He did in The Merchant of Venice have these various princes come in to open the box. We didn't really know very much about them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just referencing Tunisian, some sort of, is he a king or what? I don't know what he is. It's a bit scary if you're a woman. You can get married off to these people.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And
And
this,
Dante's the same way. Dante talks a little bit the same thing a lot of women who are used as political pawns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so with the daughter going to Africa, when Sebastian was talking about Milan and Naples have more widows in them, that would seem to imply then that Antonio had his hand in getting Alonso's daughter to go to
Mm.
Africa. That the
You might
Milan
be
part.
right, Des. I don't know of any indication of that at this particular time. But
Just there's one part there. It's getting on in time, but just somewhere around the 220 or so. Um, Antonio says, "Noble Sebastian, thou let thy fortune sleep. Thy rather winkest while thou art waking." You're letting your fortune sleep. Wake up, get things moving for yourself. And Sebastian says, dost snore distinctly. There's
Mm.
meaning in thy snores. And Antonio comes back, I am more serious than my custom. You must be too, if heed me, which to do trebles thee over. Now, Sebastian, all he says is, well, I'm standing motor. And Antonio says, I'll teach you how to flow. And Sebastian, do so. To ebb hereditary sloth instructs me.
Hmm.
He is definitely thinking it's hereditary here. And sloth has been instructing him. And he wants Antonio to sort the problem.
Well, Antonio's a schemer. Sebastian's a little slow on the draw. I
Yeah,
mean, and
that,
and so
that's it's his sloth.
Yeah, I wonder
mm,
what does that mean? Is that
you mean the sloth part?
it's like lazy or something, is it?
Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
not ambitious.
Mm.
It's like Antonio saying, "Hey, come on, Sebastian, man, this is your chance. Get off your butt. Let's kill your brother and take over." And Sebastian's saying, "Well, I'm not it really isn't my nature to go around killing my brother and taking over, but maybe you can teach me how to do it." Anyway, I'm not sure how we're going to come back and continue to work on these puzzles
Yeah.
with a 1 week hiatus, but I guess we will try.
Are we all off next week?
What is a hiatus?
Well, the 1 week between.
Oh,
That's
Oh,
all. I'm not
oh, I
talking
see.
anything
I
The
see.
special.
normal, the normal.
The normal hiatus. But I
I
mean,
see.
this is a real ball of wax here.
There's an awful lot
I
going
mean,
on.
when we started reading this act, we thought it was just going to be a comic relief, but it's
Hmm.
not comic relief. It's very complex, and trying to figure out who's what. Now, trying to maintain the memory between now and
Yeah.
then of what we
Yeah.
discussed will be an interesting challenge, and
Yeah.
we'll just see what we can do.
So
And
hard with so many characters.
so many characters and so much change in direction.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
and they've got similar names as well,
Yeah.
or something. I don't know what it is. It's
yeah, yeah. Well, if anybody can come up with a diagram that we can share, it might help. But I think I've got it now. Alonso is the head of Naples, and his brother is Sebastian, and his son is Ferdinand. And then in Milan, let's see, Alonso. Hold on, I'm already
Good.
confused. Okay, and then on the other side we have the Duke of we have the Milan. We have Antonio. So have to keep Antonio and Alonso in their place. I'll see if I can come up with a nice diagram. There's got to be somebody who has diagrammed this out.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
complex enough that, you know, we're not the only people to find it puzzling. And to find it, to be quite complex because it starts off kind of like a Three Stooges thing. Um, anyway, I'm going to say goodbye for now and thank everybody.
Yep. Thank you.
And we
yeah.
shall gather
you.
by
thank you.
the great river of Shakespeare next week. Okay.
Yeah.